Saturday evening. I'm back home at Royalwood Church and getting ready for Sunday. And we are doing a gospel set. It's been like a month or so, or no, it's a little bit longer than that. I feel like we haven't done gospel music in a while. We've been doing a lot of more contemporary music. So we're doing Jesus the Same and Glorious, which are kind of like, not super gospel, but a little more gospel-y. So I have kind of the kit ripped apart from Bot. So I gotta figure out what I want to use tomorrow. I think I'm gonna keep with this Ludwig snare, even though maybe a little deep for the gospel-y stuff, but man, I just love it so much. But I'm probably gonna go a little bit smaller crashes and a little bit kind of more cutting, you know, smaller hi-hats, 14 hi-hats, stuff like that. So a lot of people ask me, you know, do you like gospel versus contemporary? And I really like both, because contemporary stuff, you know, it's really more about mood and just dynamics and like taking people there dynamically completely, where gospel's a little more challenging, a little more technique. Both are awesome, but it's been a while since we played some gospel stuff, so it's gonna be fun. But I'm gonna kind of just get the kit set back up, sounding how I want, and then maybe try to work out some details and see if I can kind of put a couple of unique things together for the set. So yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, so I think this is it for tomorrow. So 14-inch hats, 17-inch Brilliant, 20-inch Brilliant, 21-inch Ride, then my stack 18/20. So let's talk about stacks real quick, because that's another thing I get questions about a lot. How do you decide what to stack? What do you like in stacks? For me, it's about a couple things. First, it's about the characteristics of the cymbal that you want to stack things on top of. So if you have a really light cymbal, it may not be the best stackable thing, because when you stack it up, it may just be lost completely. So you want something that has some character. Second of all, it's about the marriage of the cymbals, in my opinion. I want two cymbals that marry pretty well, because for me, I want a stack to shorten the sustain without causing a lot of tons of clang or just weird, you know, overtones. So if you have cymbals that don't marry, like the bells don't marry very well, you like that little imagery there? The bells don't marry very well. Then you get a lot like, you might get like that extra clang, where I want the stack to really be tight. So I use two main stacks. I use a 9-inch splash, actually this splash here, inside of my China, and I flip the splash over and they marry perfectly. Same thing with this 18 over this 20, just kind of the bell and the bow of the cymbals just creates this really great marriage of these two cymbals. So what I get is a lot of the dryness and the attack without like any sustain, right? So now what you're hearing, I am getting a little of like bark back, like in there, but to me that's a tolerable amount. And if I want to tighten that down, I can get rid of a little bit of that and kind of tighten that up. So now I've just got it really tight, so I can tighten it down to my preference. And a lot of that, any of the rest of that is just gonna get lost in the mix. Right, so I'm not gonna hear that. Yeah, the one-handed playing is terrible. So yeah, so that's it for my setup tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome, so I'll see you guys right here in this exact spot right in the morning. I'll be back with you all, ready to go. Morning. Fellas, Brother Drew, Brother Curtis. We're here in the wee hours of the morning. We're in here. We in here, Curtis says. I'm not that cool. I can't say stuff like that. 7:30, nice and quiet. But this morning marks the return of gospel music to Royalwood. We're doing the first gospel music song since like November. You realize that? We haven't done a gospel tune in like 3 months. little splash stack. So I'm adding this little, my GoPro there with my little small rig arm. So again, super sturdy, but that'll get kind of like a shot like this, except obviously a lot wider. Kind of, I've done it similar to that before, but it was on the glass of the cage, so this is a little bit better. But all right, about to start first service. Excited. Rehearsal went good. I think it's gonna be great. That's it for today. Thanks you guys for hanging out. Man, we had a great, both services were awesome this morning, but I want to just mention one thing. You know, I have a clip of last night working on a part of Jesus the Same. And I talk to a lot of people that say stuff like, you probably have to, that say stuff like, man, I just don't know what I played, or yeah, you know, I'm not exactly sure what I played there, but you know, something like this. And I want to challenge you that if you're the person that you play stuff and you come back and you're like, man, I really don't know what I played, I'm not sure what that was, I want to challenge you to say that your playing is above your comprehension. Now, what I mean by that is that you may play things but not really count them out or think about them. And if you can't count things, then it's harder to replicate other people's playing or to break things down. So I just want to challenge you, figure out a section of a song, work out an exact pattern that you want to play, like I did on the fill of Jesus the Same. I didn't execute it perfectly. I ended up changing it a little bit at the last minute, but work out a part and then try to nail that one thing. Don't just go through songs playing it, because what ends up happening is you just play the tempo of the song. You don't actually play the song. You end up leaving out all of the little intricacies that make that song unique, and you just play the tempo, and that gets boring. You know how that is when you feel like you're stuck in a rut. If you're stuck in a rut, I want to challenge you that it may be the fact that your comprehension is below your playing level. You're not actually counting, you're not really breaking down parts, you're not really figuring stuff out, and you're not really being intentional in playing like specific things in specific places. So just something to think about next time you're working on a song. Work out a specific feel, work out a specific pattern. We do this in general, but I'm saying take it to the next level. So man, thanks you guys for tuning in. I think today the giveaway for the BASN headphones ends, but I got another giveaway coming up. We'll announce the winner of that one soon and the next one soon. But thanks for hanging out today. Give this a thumbs up. Share it with somebody if you think they would enjoy some drum stuff or some of the thoughts I've shared. And then subscribe. If you're not following along, I'd love for you to subscribe. You'll get notified when new content drops. Turn the little notification bell on. Putting out lots of content, trying to do everything I can to share my resources, share my experiences, and see what you guys think about it. So thanks for joining, and we will see you guys in the next one.